The National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses low-voltage lighting installations. It is crucial to understand these requirements to ensure safety and code compliance. Since electrical codes are updated periodically, always refer to the most current edition, such as NEC 2020, to ensure that your installation meets the latest standards. Article 411.4 of NEC 2020 specifically addresses low-voltage lighting cables. This section states that low-voltage lighting cables that are not part of a recognized lighting fixture must not be concealed within walls, ceilings, or floors. In essence, unless the cable is an integral component of a certified lighting fixture, it must remain exposed. However, there is an exception outlined in 411.4b. This exception permits the concealment of low-voltage lighting cables within walls, ceilings, or floors under specific conditions. These conditions require that the cables are installed in a raceway, enclosed in a Type MI cable, or are part of an approved assembly. Let's analyze a specific scenario where a low-voltage cable is concealed within a cabinet and then enters an accessible attic through a soffit. According to the NEC, this type of installation would generally not meet code requirements for the following reasons. Firstly, the cable is not part of a certified lighting fixture. Secondly, the cable is not enclosed within a raceway, Type MI cable, or other approved assembly. To ensure compliance with the NEC, several solutions can be implemented. Firstly, the cable could be run outside the cabinet along the exterior of the building and then into the attic. This keeps the cable exposed and avoids concealment within the building structure. Secondly, you could install a junction box in the attic. Run the cable from the cabinet to the junction box, and then from the junction box to the transformer. The junction box must be accessible for inspection and maintenance. Thirdly, the cable could be enclosed in a raceway or Type MI cable within the cabinet and attic space. This provides a protective enclosure and allows for concealed installation as permitted by the NEC exception. To summarize, directly concealing low-voltage lighting cables as described would not meet NEC requirements. It's important to revise the installation to ensure compliance with the code. Remember to always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes, as well as seek guidance from a qualified electrician to ensure your installation meets all applicable requirements. Now let's delve deeper into the implications of these NEC requirements and explore some best practices for low-voltage lighting installations. The primary reason for the NEC restriction on concealing low-voltage cables is safety. Concealed cables can be more difficult to inspect, maintain, and repair. If a fault develops in a concealed cable, it may go unnoticed, potentially leading to overheating, fire hazards, or other safety issues. By requiring cables to be exposed or installed in protective enclosures, the NEC aims to minimize these risks. A raceway is an enclosed channel designed to hold and protect electrical wires and cables. Common types of raceways include electrical metallic tubing, or rigid metal conduit, or RMC, and flexible metal conduit, or FMC. When using a raceway for low-voltage lighting cables, the raceway must be properly sized to accommodate the cables and securely fastened to the building structure. Type MI cable, or mineral insulated cable, is a type of cable consisting of copper conductors insulated with a mineral insulation such as magnesium oxide, and enclosed in a seamless copper sheath. Type MI cable is highly durable and resistant to heat, moisture, and corrosion, making it suitable for a variety of applications, including hazardous locations. An approved assembly refers to a pre-manufactured wiring system that has been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, or UL. These assemblies typically include cables, connectors, and other components that are designed to work together as a complete wiring system. When using an approved assembly, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and use. A junction box is an enclosure used to protect electrical connections and splices. Junction boxes must be accessible for inspection and maintenance, meaning they should not be concealed behind walls, ceilings, or other building finishes. When installing a junction box in an attic, ensure that it is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Now let's consider some additional factors that can influence the design and installation of low-voltage lighting systems. Firstly, the voltage drop. Voltage drop refers to the reduction in voltage that occurs as electricity travels along a cable. Excessive voltage drop can cause lights to dim, motors to run slower, and other equipment to malfunction. To minimize voltage drop, it's important to use the correct size cable for the length of the run and the amount of current being carried. Secondly, the ampacity. Ampacity refers to the maximum amount of current that a cable can safely carry. The ampacity of a cable is determined by its size, insulation type, and operating temperature. It's important to choose a cable with an ampacity that is sufficient for the load being served. Thirdly, the overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. It's important to install overcurrent protection devices that are properly sized for the circuit being protected. Fourthly, the grounding. Grounding is the process of connecting electrical equipment to the earth to provide a path for fault current to flow. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety and helps to prevent electric shock. Fifthly, the bonding. Bonding is the process of connecting metallic parts of an electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current to flow. Bonding helps to ensure that all metallic parts are at the same electrical potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. In addition to these technical considerations, it's also important to follow best practices for installation. Firstly, always to energize the circuit before working on electrical equipment. Secondly, use the correct tools and equipment for the job. Thirdly, follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and use. Fourthly, inspect all work carefully before energizing the circuit. Fifthly, test the circuit to ensure that it is working properly. Now let's discuss some common types of low-voltage lighting systems. Firstly, landscape lighting. Landscape lighting is used to illuminate outdoor areas such as gardens, walkways, and patios. Low-voltage landscape lighting systems typically operate at 12 volts alternating current or 24 volts alternating current and use a transformer to step down the voltage from the main electrical service. Secondly, track lighting. Track lighting is a type of lighting system that uses multiple light fixtures mounted on a track. Track lighting is commonly used in residential and commercial applications to provide accent lighting or general illumination. Thirdly, recessed lighting. Recessed lighting is a type of lighting fixture that is installed in a ceiling or wall. Recessed lighting is commonly used in residential and commercial applications to provide general illumination or accent lighting. Fourthly, cabinet lighting. Cabinet lighting is used to illuminate the interior of cabinets, shelves, and other storage areas. Low-voltage cabinet lighting systems typically operate at 12 volts direct current or 24 volts direct current and use a power supply to convert the alternating current voltage to direct current voltage. Fifthly, display lighting. Display lighting is used to illuminate merchandise in retail stores, museums, and other commercial settings. Low-voltage display lighting systems typically use light-emitting diode, or LED, lamps, which are energy-efficient and long-lasting. Now let's delve into some advanced topics related to low-voltage lighting systems. Firstly, the Power over Ethernet, or PoE lighting. Power over Ethernet lighting is a type of lighting system that uses Ethernet cables to transmit both power and data to light fixtures. Power over Ethernet lighting systems offer several advantages over traditional lighting systems, including reduced wiring costs, improved energy efficiency, and enhanced control capabilities. Secondly, the Digital Addressable Lighting Interface, or DALI lighting. Digital Addressable Lighting Interface lighting is a communication protocol used to control lighting systems. Digital Addressable Lighting Interface allows for individual control of each light fixture, enabling advanced lighting control strategies such as dimming, color tuning, and scene setting. Thirdly, the wireless lighting control. Wireless lighting control systems use radio frequency, RF, or other wireless technologies to control light fixtures. Wireless lighting control systems offer flexibility and convenience, allowing users to control lighting from a smartphone, tablet, or other mobile device. Fourthly, the daylight harvesting. Daylight harvesting is a strategy used to reduce energy consumption by automatically dimming or turning off electric lights when sufficient daylight is available. Daylight harvesting systems typically use photosensors to measure the amount of daylight in a space and adjust the lighting accordingly. Fifthly, the occupancy sensing. Occupancy sensing is a strategy used to reduce energy consumption by automatically turning off lights when a space is unoccupied. Occupancy sensors use various technologies, such as infrared or ultrasonic sensors, to detect the presence of occupants in a space. In conclusion, the NEC provides specific guidelines for low-voltage lighting installations, particularly regarding the concealment of cables. To ensure code compliance and safety, it's crucial to understand these requirements and implement appropriate solutions. Remember to consult the latest edition of the NEC local electrical codes and qualified electricians to ensure a safe and compliant installation.